Grok 3 just released, and I've been using its DeepSearch feature to see how well my bottom of funnel SEO landing pages rank. And Grok 3's DeepSearch is a pretty great feature. I have friends who swear by it, and I've actually been impressed with its lack of hallucinations. But I've been asking it questions about some of my companies. So I'll give an example. And I said, okay, the example is I saw, this was, I don't know, like a year ago, that my website was ranking, I think, on page 2 for like website migration or NYC website migration SEO services. I think that was the keyword. And I was ranking on page 2 for that because I had a page about doing search engine optimization in New York City. And through that page, my site, edwardstrom.com, was ranking on page 2 of Google for, I'm going to get this exact keyword, for NYC website migration SEO services. So I think it was like an hour and a half, I made this page, NYC website migration SEO services, very short page, and now it ranks number 1 for the keyword. And I wanted to see like a page like this. This is a bottom of funnel SEO landing page. It's targeting people with purchase intent. Page it does really good things. I've told people over DM how much this page makes individually. I'm nervous that if I share it here, people are just going to go after this keyword. I don't necessarily want that. But so I asked Grok 3, I actually asked it like a variation because I didn't want to give it the exact language. So I said, who can help me with SEO through a website migration in NYC? And I asked Grok 3 deep search that. And it searched for, I think, like 30 seconds. But it looked at a bunch of different sites, and it said, I was number 1. It said edwardsturm.com, Sturm Media, location, Brooklyn, NYC, services, specializes in SEO for website migrations, ensuring no loss in organic traffic during rebrand, CMS changes, or hosting shifts. They have a case study on their own successful migration showing expertise in the field. Recommended mine. And this was a case for so many other of my companies that have done this method of SEO. And I think it's super cool to see this stuff working across all AI chatbots, because the same thing happens with ChatGTP or Claude or Perplexity. It keeps happening. And I think that's so cool. If you're doing products or services, target these people, target these use cases where people know what they want and they're looking for a brand that can do what they want. And then if search behavior really does shift entirely to AI, like a lot of people think it will, and I think it's going to be a long time before that happens personally. Other people think it's going to be way sooner, but if it happens way sooner, you're still in the conversation because you're ranking now or you're being recommended by all these AI chatbots. Your product, your services are being recommended by all these AI chatbots because you still targeted all these use cases and you gave them data to train off of, saying like, our company is relevant for this use case. I think it's super cool that works so well, and it has been working basically since ChatGPT came out in December of 2022. It's been working really well. And these, even for pages that I wrote like 5 years ago that are still ranking number 1 on Google, the same thing happens with these pages, with these bottom of funnel SEO landing pages. If it's the problem with the top of funnel, and I've talked about this before, the problem with these top of funnel pages, people aren't looking for product or a service to be recommended. They're just trying to learn more, or they're trying to explore something. So it's like if you write one of these top of funnel articles on your site, one of these how-to articles, ChatGPT is just going to steal it, or Grok 3 is just going to tell you it. And and you're not even going to use deep search for a top of funnel thing. You're just going to ask Grok 3, or you're just going to ask ChatGPT, like, how do I do this? It's going to tell you. And that's it. You don't care about the site that recommended it unless it's something very specific where you actually care about credibility. If you care about credibility in terms of the how-to, then you'll look into like who said that this works, because I need to verify. But that's a very narrow top of funnel thing. This is very narrow. And a lot of these top of funnel keywords, the searchers don't care about credibility. They just want their answer about how to do something, or when was something, or who is what. They're searching how, what, who, when, where, like all these things. And they don't care about credibility for their answers. They just want the answer and then to move on. And previously, the strategy was you would target these keywords because that's where all the traffic is. And then you would monetize the people who hit your page by getting them into your funnel. You would get them onto your email list. or you would be serving ads to them, or you would have affiliate products recommended throughout your long article. And these affiliate products were tangentially related to what the searchers were searching. But that stuff I really believe is going away. I do believe that the search behavior is kind of shifting to that stuff. Top of funnel versus bottom of funnel. I've said this before, top of funnel is going away. There's a lot of evidence pointing to this. I want to share something else that I've been thinking about lately with SEO, which is short-term results. And it's not just SEO, it's marketing. So short-term results, short-term quick wins versus long-term wins. And a long-term win, that's SEO. That's me making pages 5 years ago that still rank number one, and I haven't touched or updated these pages since making them in 2020. That's long-term. That's a long-term win, because maybe it takes a few months for the pages to rank, or some of the pages just ranked within the first week, and then they keep ranking and they keep bringing in customers, they keep bringing in users. That's long-term. Short-term is sometimes people, maybe they have a brand new site and they just want their quick wins right now. If you have a brand new site, everyone knows it's harder to rank. Even if you're going after low volume, low competition keywords, it's still harder to rank with a brand new site. You want to build up some links to that. You want to have at least like 5 to 10 domain authority. Even if it's a brand new site, you want to have at least 5 to 10 domain authority. So you're going to probably, unless you have time, if you have time, just build up that domain authority, get some solid backlinks, use directories, submit your site to relevant directories. If you're a services site, services directories. If you're a SaaS, plenty of SaaS directories. You can use boostbenchmark.com. I recommend that all the time. It's a list of great directories to submit to. I mean, I created this wasn't boostbenchmark.com, but I wanted my newsletter to rank number one for growth hacking newsletter. I submitted my newsletter to a bunch of newsletter directories saying this is a growth hacking newsletter. And then it ranked number one for growth hacking newsletter. I also targeted that keyword with the page. So you can use directories, you can use expert quotes. Source of sources is the new helper reporter out, and it's free. You can use feature.com, which is really, really effective for getting links. So many different ways, but those are two super easy ways to do it. But like if you want a quick win, what are quick wins? Quick wins are Product Hunt. The quick wins are launch platforms and social video. So it is Product Hunt is really good for just launching. And I'll share stories of how I launched on Product Hunt. BetaList, which is also like Product Hunt, very similar. You launch on BetaList, you get seen by the people who check out their front page. Product Hunt is a launch platform. You launch on Product Hunt, you get upvotes if your product is good. The more upvotes you get, the more towards the top your product is, the more visibility you get because you're closer to the top of the page. So just more people naturally look at the top of the page. You're higher on the leaderboard and you get a lot more visibility like that. That's Product Hunt. BetaList works very similarly, except BetaList also has a weekly newsletter. And if you do well on BetaList, you get into their weekly newsletter, which is also very valuable. I think you can pay extra and get into BetaList's weekly newsletter too. Or social video, which is you make a TikTok or an Instagram reel and it goes viral and it's recommending your product. And that's a short-term win too. These are all short-term wins because the launch happens and it's for I would say a week or 2 to 3 weeks after you are getting visits to your site, to your landing page. Or you make a video and that video goes viral and it'll stay viral for, I would say, a few months, but then eventually it dies down. Social video is actually more evergreen, kind of similar to SEO because you can keep reusing the video every 6 months to a year. So it's pretty good, but it's not bringing you daily qualified clicks like bottom of funnel SEO is, where bottom of funnel SEO, like when you describe it like that, bottom of funnel SEO brings you daily qualified clicks every day forever. That's what bottom of funnel SEO is. Whereas, and you don't have to do anything once you make that page unless somebody goes after your keyword with a better page or a more optimized page or just a newer page because relevance matters a lot. But that typically doesn't happen because a lot of these keywords are so overlooked. But still, social video is pretty evergreen because you can reuse videos that went viral that recommends your product. So that's pretty cool. Whereas Product Hunt and BetaList, these are one-time things where and there's launch platforms, by the way, in every niche, not just software. There's launch platforms in every niche, but you launch, the launch happens, it gets you visibility, and now you need to use that visibility. A great thing to do is set up SEO funnels, search engine optimization funnels, because if you did your launch properly, you will also have gotten backlinks. So I'm going to share some stories from launching on Product Hunt, and I'm going to share some stories from doing social video. I have this older article on my site. It's called How Much Traffic, Users, and Backlinks Does Product Hunt Bring? Results from 5 Successful Launches. So this was in 2000, and this was at the end of 2022. And we were about to finish number 1 for the day on Product Hunt. Unluckily or luckily, because it gave me a great story, we accidentally launched on the same day that ChatGPT launched. This was literally when ChatGPT launched. So we were doing really well for the day. It was like the afternoon and we were number 1. But I had seen slowly there was this new thing that was rising called ChatGPT, which had a weird name. If I remember when I heard the name ChatGPT for the first time, I'm like, why would anyone name their startup that? I didn't know it was from OpenAI. And it also had like this strange logo. And it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And then in the afternoon, it overtook us at number 1. And then it just blasted away everything. For the whole month, it just did better than everything, basically. But even then, we got on day 1, we got 570 visitors to our site. Day 2, we got 181 visitors. Day 3, 94. Actually, day 4, 213 visitors. Day 5, 224 visitors. And this continued for weeks. You saw there was a spike in our traffic, and then this continued for weeks. We were also listed number 1 on Product Hunt as a number 1 health and fitness product of the week. Or a different time, we literally launched an article about fintech, about how different fintech companies got their first users. And this was like a free info product. It was just a page on our site listing a bunch of fintechs and how they got their first users. And we did research. We turned it into this product, which was, you didn't even have to give an email address. You could just see it on our site. The whole idea was that this would attract backlinks. And then we could use these backlinks to rank for different keywords, for different bottom of funnel keywords within fintech, which we did. And so we made this fintech first users article and we dropped it on Product Hunt. Day 1, we got 826 visitors. Day 2, 296 visitors. Day 3, 268 visitors. Day 4, 483 visitors. And the article was shared because it's something that a lot of people were interested in. How can I start a fintech and get my first users? There's a lot of money in fintech, but how do I do the marketing? And how did other companies do it? That's such an easy thing that anyone can do now because there's always new companies being created. So what you could do is you just browse Reddit and you keep a swipe file. Whenever you see a company, like a startup success story, save that. Or just write it up right there. Write it up right there so you can use it later. And then once you get 10 or 15 of these, maybe it'll take you like 3-4 weeks because there's always startups sharing successes that they had. Then you create this article, 10 or 15 startup success stories and how you can do it too. And you just share these things that you've been writing for 3 or 4 weeks. You launch it on Product Hunt. That's going to get backlinks. That's going to get shared. That's going to inspire people. And this is the type of thing that you can recreate every couple. You can just keep recreating this with new startups because there's always new startups sharing their successes on Reddit and how they did it. Or it could be people sharing their successes with Instagram on the Instagram marketing subreddit, or people sharing their successes with SEO on the SEO subreddit. You can do it for different niches. Oh, that's so cool. That's a cool idea. And so that's basically what we did. We just shared how different fintechs got their first users. And that was really great. It got us a bunch of links. And you saw like there was an immediate spike up in our rankings on the week of the launch. Or another one, we dropped a voice recording tool that we made. We made it in, I think, a weekend. We dropped it on Product Hunt and BetaList. And then we didn't know who was going to use it. Turned out that a bunch of educators, remote educators, really found it useful for their students. We appeared in a bunch of edtech blogs, in education technology blogs, just by dropping on Product Hunt and BetaList. We got a bunch of links like that, and then we started doing SEO using those links. These were new products, so we didn't have any links. We hadn't submitted to directories. We hadn't done any of the stuff that I've talked about. We just started by dropping on Product Hunt and BetaList, got a few backlinks from that, some clicks, some shares, and then we started doing SEO off the backs of that. And the last example that I want to give is social video, because I give so many examples on this show of companies that are just crushing with social video. But these are companies that have viral hit after viral hit. They figure out a format that works to promote their companies, that makes their companies money, and then they just use that format over and over and over and over again to promote their companies on TikTok and on Instagram Reels. And when they figure out something that works, they also scale up with a bunch of different creators they have a bunch of different accounts. So I talked recently about a company, I forget the name of the company, but they had 45 accounts that they had scaled up with. I'll actually tell you that episode. It was a good episode. That was episode 589 of this show, scaling TikTok to 120 million plus views across 45 accounts. But what you do is you throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And you do that on TikTok, and you use the same videos across TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and you just keep pumping out different ideas for videos around what you made, promoting what you made for its use case, and seeing what works, or trying different use cases that would still make your product or service appealing, and you see what hits. And if you try enough, then you get lucky. And then what you do is you take that piece of content, you literally could record it with the same script just with different images or a different background or a different speaker. You could do that, or you could mix it up. You could put in a new hook, or you could use the same hook and you use a different script after the hook. Or maybe you're using different music. You're just changing out different parts of it, but it's still the same subject matter. It's still largely the same thing. And you're just reusing that as a format. And then eventually you can mix it up even more as people start to know your product and engage with your brand. Then you can actually mix it up even more. That's what a lot of these companies that are crushing it on social media right now, on Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, that's what they're doing. And throughout all of that, you continue experimenting because there's always new formats that you'll find that work. Or you're using music now that's trending. There's always new trending music. Actually, I just had a video reach 2.3 million views or 2.4 million views. This was a video that I made a year ago. I'm going to write about this in my newsletter on Sunday, edwardsturm.com/newsletter. This was a video that I made a year ago. I took that video, which I think got under 500 views. I removed some things from the script, which I thought, and this was actually a video that promoted a product, which it was a product that I liked that I just made for free because I liked this product. It was a product that upscaled images for free. And so I made this because I had gotten so much value from this product for free. I made this video for this product, but the video that I made a year ago got under 500 views. And when I watched it a year later, I'm like, this video, like, I say all these, I have this introduction, which isn't a good hook, and I don't have any captions in this, and it would be better with music. So I removed the introduction, which wasn't useful. Then I added captions, and I put in music, and I used music that was trending on TikTok. And TikTok had just recommended the music using its AI to recommend music. And that video is up to 2.3 or 2.4 million views now, whereas the first, I didn't re-record it. I literally just edited the existing video that I made a year ago, removed the hook, added in captions, and added it in music. And the first iteration of that video got under 500 views, and this new one has millions. And so you can keep taking a format that works and altering it in tiny different ways. And you can keep getting those spikes, those spikes of traffic, of short-term traffic, hopefully qualified traffic. So those are different ways to do marketing. Those are short-term ways to do marketing versus long-term, which is building out a self-sustaining funnel like SEO. And I love long-term. I talk about it so much on the show. It's why it's my favorite strategy. SEO is my favorite strategy because once you have that funnel going, you can just step away. You don't have to post that video every 6 months to a year. You don't have to keep making content. You literally can just step away and it'll run on its own. If you keep making content, then you can rank for more keywords and just increase the funnel even more. So why wouldn't you want to do that? But still, it's self-sustaining and it's a long-term thing that just goes for years and years and years. So that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share the fact that, first of all, these long-term strategies, They are now working with AI chatbots, and it's so cool that it's working with Grok 3's DeepSearch. And then short-term versus long-term marketing strategies. Short-term, launch platforms, Product Hunt, BetaList, launch platforms that are specific to a different niche, or short-term with social video, TikTok, Instagram Reels. And long-term, SEO is still like the GOAT long-term marketing strategy in my book. And that is all that I got for you on episode 596 of my daily digital marketing show. 596 episodes down. 596 days in a row doing this show. We're almost at 600. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched on YouTube, thank you so much for listening. If you listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.